World War II, more Americans were killed than in any other war in the United States history. The deaths within the war were brutal. People died due to starvation, shrapnel, bullet wounds, gas burns, and execution. 60 million people died in that war. In Japan, Americans were slowly tortured to death in camps as prisoners of war. On the opposite side of the globe, Japanese soldiers were being executed via firing squad. In World War II, the United States made the decision to instantly kill 150,000 people due to atomic bomb. By 1945, the only thing that the world could agree on was violence. Not everyone was okay with that. At the end of World War II, a young woman named Doris Twitchell Allen was conversing to her son about his worry of someday having to go off to war. This infuriated Allen that the government could force her son to fight, and along with an article she read about overcoming prejudice in adults, she realized that she had a solution to the selfish minds of adult leaders. She would start a program to promote world peace in the children, so that future generations would prosper free of violent minds. She would hold camps containing children from many different sectors of the world to eliminate racism and create a sense of global friendship in the kids. She went to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization for funding, but after being denied, she took initiative and along with her husband, Erastus Smith Allen, privately raised the funds to host the first camp herself. She was calling it a Children's International Summer Village. This coined the acronym CISV, and the inaugural CISV Village was held in Columbus, Ohio, June 3rd through 30th, 1951. It entailed 55 sixth graders from all different parts of the world. The children were selected based on their intelligence and potential leadership roles, and by the end of the camp, Allen's studies showed that children showed more respect to the other countries. At these camps, so much happens in a month. Each country has a national night showcasing traditional food, clothes, and culture. Also, the children learn a song speaking of international unity. They sing every morning and night.
Let our children so may grow in a world we did not know, sharing all we have to give, learning how to love and live. In our hands the future lies. Seize the moment ere it flies. Grant the present with an act. Then to make our dreams a fact.
In between meals, the tradition arose to sing another song in a combination of Scandinavian languages to thank those who prepared food and to recognize blessings. Every day, the kids partake in activities that utilize their minds, and by the end of the camp, inseparable bonds have been formed between the children. After leaving camp, kids write each other letters, and in more recent times, keep in touch through social media. An unnamed member of a Victoria, British Columbia village said, "The connections that grew from my 1972 camp made the world such a small place. If anyone called from that village, I would be there to help him." She said this 36 years after her village experience. Doris wasn't the first person to realize that teaching nonviolence to children was a great compromise to the conflict of racism and war. Many supporters of the peace movement have pointed this out before, but what makes Doris special is the initiative she took to create such a wonderful program that lives on into modern day. I, Decker Jackson, am fortunate to have a family that has been involved in my local chapter in the state CISV was founded in, Ohio, for many years. My mother, Laura Jackson, was the first to travel through CISV in 1971 to Guatemala. In a 2017 interview, Laura discussed the ways that CISV has changed and impacted her views. Okay, so Mom, what was CISV like in the 70s? What do you think is different about it today?
Well, for me in the 70s, there weren't a lot of things for girls. There wasn't volleyball and soccer and all the different things there are for girls. So for me, it was a great opportunity, something I could do young and carry on through my life. So it's been something nice in that way for me. As far as how do I think it's different, probably not too different. The world issues are different. I went in the 70s, so of course the Vietnam War would have been, discussed, but now I'm sure it's things of terrorism and things like that. So probably it hasn't changed in that way as far as how it works.
Thank you. How has CISV impacted your thoughts and views, and how has it made the way you raise your children different?
Wow, for me, I was raised in the 60s with an African-American nanny, so to, show up in a country with 11 countries with different children from all over the world to live with them, was an amazing experience for me and very eye-opening. So something that I definitely wanted my children to experience. So, my children have both traveled with CISV more than one time each. My family has stayed in contact over the years, and so I think in that way it's been something that I've incorporated in not only in my life but into the lives of my children.
Thank you. And my final question is, what do you think of now when you hear the word Guatemala, which is the region that you traveled to?
I think of love and family, and I loved the local market. I used to skip school to go there, so.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Since Laura's travels, my family has been involved with CISV trips to Spain, Denmark, Canada, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and many more. Over the years, CISV has evolved with the times. The organization has started to offer other programs such as seminar camps and foreign exchange programs called interchanges. In the last 61 years, CISV has organized more than 6,000 camps containing over 230,000 delegates. CISV is famous for its 100% safety rating, in which no harm was done to any children in foreign countries. This dispels the myth that sending your child to other countries is too dangerous, because the children come back with a more independent, caring mind. A frequently asked question about the organization is, how do the kids communicate if they all speak different languages? The answer is simple. All CISV camps since 1951 have operated with the main languages of the camps to be English. This means, to be eligible to participate in programs, a child must at least have a basic understanding of the English language. In conclusion, CISV has brought peace to many homes throughout the globe and taught children that we all share the same earth. Doris Twitchell Allen's conflict was solved by the mindset that if you can't change adults' minds on war and race, then compromise and aim to influence the children. And most importantly, CISV has created a community, some may even say a family, of people from all ethnicities and languages. A family that can rely on each other to always give an honest opinion. A family who will do no harm. And a family that thrives for a change.